There is light at the end of the tunnel for teachers after the Education Secretary promised to improve teachers' training. The Education Secretary Jacob Kaimenyi also promised that the government will provide more money towards a free primary and day secondary education to counter levies charged to parents.
And I'm appealing to all of us who are in charge of the education sector. Those of us who are parents and guardians who fail to take children to school, we must take them to court. And the many more cases of that type we see in this country, people stop it. They'll stop it. We want to make sure that also child labor, we address it seriously. Because in some of the places where there are cash crops, and even where there are no cash crops, in arid and semi-arid areas, we have allowed our children to take care of, for example, of cattle, of sheep, at the expense of learning. It should not happen.
Meanwhile, President Uhuru Kenyatta has urged the private sector to exploit investment opportunities in the infrastructure sector to bridge the deficit in the continent. Kenyatta said resources from the private sector could supplement government's efforts and accelerate infrastructure projects, adding that the rewards will not merely be commercial, but also radically transform ordinary African lives. Elsewhere, 7 people in Ngiyang and Kositei villages in East Pokot have died from hunger. Officials and residents in the 2 villages are now calling on the government to bring relief food to avoid more deaths. Rainfall failure in most parts of the country is hitting both human and animals hard, with hundreds now facing acute food shortage. The situation in the area has become so dire that residents have begun feeding on wild fruits.
Long rains, which we were expecting from the month of March up to now, have failed. There are no rains in the entire sub-county. Even where they are planted, the crop has dried up. Even in Churo, I've got those reports. And the situation is indeed bad.
U.S. President Barack Obama's late aunt Zaituni Obama was laid to rest in Kisumu today. Zaituni was buried at the Sunni Muslim cemetery under tight security following reports that a man claiming to be Zaituni's husband had moved to court to block their burial. Mukami Chaka for The Big Question.